Now we're back in Sydney. You're working at, you're living in Bondi. You and Mum are engaged, and you're working as
As a the clinical superintendent. It's at Vincent's Hospital. And very grand sounding, but anyway.
So at this stage in your career, had you'd gotten on, so your education had continued, you'd learned a lot abroad. Were you starting to get well regarded in your field, earning some decent money and being respected, or were you still sort of finding your feet, or where were you at career-wise?
Oh. No, see, I wasn't never a specialist. I wasn't sort of seeking. People weren't seeking me out to, send patients to as a specialist.
Mm.
I was working in the hospital, and so no.
What was it that you never wanted to specialise?
Well, I suppose I did, but anyway, circumstances sort of made it difficult. So I said, the easiest option is I'll just go into general practice.
Mm. Okay.
And so I left St Vincent's Hospital, and then I joined a practice at Epping. And that was a general practice. Didn't work out. And while I was there, John Stokes sort of approached me, who I knew in Brisbane. John Stokes and Michael Nicol both came from Ashgrove, and so they approached me. Would I consider joining their practice? I think they found that there was too much time being spent on call,
Mm.
and they wanted a third person. So I joined the practice.
So they already had a practice and you joined?
At Engadine.
Yep.
So I joined them.
Okay. And that was for quite a few years?
17 years, I think it was.
Right. So that's when us kids were all born?
Yep.
So we haven't spoken about the wedding. How was the wedding?
Suzanne and my wedding.
Yeah.
The wedding occurred out at Prince Henry Hospital. That was Suzanne's, hospital. So that was fine. So there's a little chapel out there. That's where the wedding occurred, and then we went to down to the golf club, I think, for the wedding itself. And so it was. I think everybody had a good time. So the Queenslanders were there, a lot of Queenslanders. Of course, had never seen a poker machine in their life, and they went crazy on the poker machines.
It was a newfangled invention back in those days, wasn't it?
Well, for Queenslanders was, yeah.
Mm.
And which is a bit pathetic, I suppose.
Just a little bit.
I had no experience, but it was particularly my sister Judy had no, but she went crazy.
It's funny that that's the
That's
the memory from you.
yeah, that's
your
what's
wedding.
your wedding. Yeah, it is.
What about the honeymoon?
The honeymoon was we drove down to down south. I can't, again, the name is eluding me. It's let's say 3 hours south of Sydney.
Coffs Harbour.
South. South.
Oh,
of Sydney.
sorry. I'm talking about past Shellhaven. What is that?
Further down.
Boat Harbour.
Further down.
No, I don't know what I'm talking about.
So everybody knows it, but anyway, we went there.
Okay. And so us kids. First Tiernan.
Yep.
So you were in a pretty stable part of your career, right? So you sort of got into a routine with that. It was just seeing patients, a bit of a grind.
Yep.
Interesting patients occasionally, but this is where you had your family.
Mm.
So what was that like? What's your favourite memory from raising your children?
So initially we, as I say, I lived in Bondi, a flat in Bondi. That's when I was working at St Vincent's. Then I went to then I went to in general practice. It was at Epping, and then when I joined the practice at Engadine, we got a unit, rented a unit at Cronulla. The unit was Rugby, Cronulla. And
Rugby Street.
that was the name of the building,
Right,
Rugby.
okay.
And so I suppose Tiernan was born when we were at in Epping. And then so when we went to Cronulla, my memories of Tiernan were he was about 18 months, 2 years, you know. He we had to leave Rugby because Tiernan was, you've heard that, have you? We lived on the 5th floor and we had a balcony, and it faced out over the sea there. It was lovely, and but Tiernan was very difficult, and he was always pushing things over the balcony. And there was a man who used to sort of back his car out and work on his car right under us. And I thought one day Tiernan's going to bloody put a chair over there or something. And
But he used to push big things across.
oh, he was, yeah.
Like what kind of lamps and.
God only knows, you know.
Bigger the better.
I mean, most of it was pillows and stuff like that. But I thought one day he's going to, you know, why should he stop there?
This is the age of 2.
How old was he? I don't know, you know. But we were there for a few years,
Mm.
and So we decided we had to. I thought we can't stay here, you know. That he really was dangerous, and so we then Suzanne found that flat, the villa at Fontainebleau Street, which you'd remember. Do you remember it?
I was never there,
No.
I believe. I think I was born and then we moved here.
Right, yeah, no, sorry. So it'd be Buffy who would remember.
Buff may remember it.
May remember, yeah. But, so anyway, we moved to Fontainebleau Street,
In
So
St.
you-
Susie.
over the road from Kelly Yates,
Yep. And in
next
the
door
same
to
apartments.
Natasha.
Yeah.
So that decided a lot of things.
And so Tatum becoming a toddler and coming of school age, what are your memories of that kind of time?
Well, I suppose Tim didn't go to school until he would have first gone to preschool at St. Susie.
Mm.
We were living at Fontainebleau Street, and Buffy would have gone to preschool there. Where did Tennant first go to school? I don't know. Maybe not until he came here, and then were old enough to go to school. And then you all went to
Carlton South.
Carlton South. I can't remember clearly.
Here being English Street Cobra.
Yeah. I mean, it's all.
So were you renting at all the places prior to this one?
The first place we bought was the
Villa. Yeah.
at Fontainebleau Street,
Okay.
St. Susie.
And you sold that when you bought this.
Yes.
So you must have been doing quite well to be able to afford to move here.
Well, I don't know. I've done not particularly well, but I mean, compared to today's problems, there were no problems.
Mm.
They're more the matter, it's more the economy in general that is the problem rather than. So you mean to buy this place?
Yeah.
This place wasn't all that expensive. 80,000.
Yeah.
Whereas the villa we
How
sold.
how many years' salary would have that been? 80,000. Your salary had been about 20,000 back in those days.
When I was working at the hospital, it was 60,000 a year.
Jesus.
Hmm?
Easy. Like 80,000.
You're earning 60,000 a year and you're paying 80,000 for a.
A mansion.
Most people didn't want to touch this place because they thought it was too many problems.
Too much upkeep.
Yes,
Mm.
because I mean there have been alterations made, and it looked pretty prohibitive to sort of get rid of all the alterations.
Okay. We'll just stop there.